how's it going? It's me, Aman, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are looking at some Tinder horror stories. Let's get into it. Mum tries her hand at Tinder. This isn't actually my story, it's my mum's. After getting out an incredibly long and unpleasant marriage, my mum joined Tinder. Stella wanted to get her groove back, and I was 100% on her team. I can't emphasize enough, she was not looking for a long-term connection. Her work sent her out of state for a while, and everything seemed perfect. She's going to get her rando D, and there's no chance of it getting serious. She's sending me screenshots of this guy she's considering. I'm giving her tips on safety, and then she picks a guy. I immediately tell her that he is not a wise choice. The guy's profile is 98% red flags by volume. Whatever, she's an adult, I literally cannot stop her. Somehow in the 4 hours they are physically together, he figures out which flight she's taking the next day. He used that to find her final destination and somehow even finds her home address. He uses the public tax information to find her full name, and from there hunts her down on Facebook and finds my dad, calls him on the phone and dishes everything, sends him pictures and screenshots of convos. Then he's sending my mom harassing messages that he loves her but that he can't trust her. Ultimately, my mom had to call the police. I have so many questions about this. First of all, how on earth have you managed to track down her address through flights? And second of all, why is your husband suddenly turning around saying that he can't trust her when they're not even together? Like, it shouldn't really be your issue anyway. Tinder's very odd. It's probably the most strangest app to ever be created. I mean, let's just hope that she doesn't make that mistake again and go for anyone crazy and psychotic. Maybe just, you know, listen to other people's advice as well, because they're there for a reason. They're there to help you and keep you safe. Just like her daughter was. I really hope that the guy has probably got a restraining order against him, because that is so strange. Saving face. We lived about 25 minutes from each other, so we agreed to meet at the beach pier about halfway between. Before meeting, we had been texting and he seemed totally normal. I was already at the pier when he texted me saying that he can't meet me there because his license is revoked and it's too far for him to walk. I should have just left then, but I agreed to meet him at a pizza place closer to him. I get there and I'm standing outside when I see him and quickly realise the pics from his profile were at least 3 to 5 years old. Homeboy looks like a dollar store version of himself. Greasy, looks like he hasn't showered in days, hair undone and holes in his shirt. That's why you need to turn around and run. I awkwardly give him a side hug and suggest we get a seat, and he says, oh no, we're not getting pizza, let's go to the park. I awkwardly say okay, and as he talks I realise his gums and tongue ring is stained black from smoking. By this point I am completely turned off and I'm just keeping up with formalities. So we get to the park and find a bench to talk, and before I can sit down, homie pulls me onto his lap, squeezing me and saying, good God, baby girl, you are so cute. Ew, 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 gross. I awkwardly scooch away and trying to get a conversation going. He pulls out his phone and starts texting for a few minutes and not really listening to me before interrupting with, have you smoked? My friend is a plug, we could go back to my place for a bowl. I decline. Oh, come on, baby girl, my place is just right there. We could have had some fun too. I declined again. Next thing you know, he pulls me close by the face and whispers, you're so innocent, before broad tongues licking my face from chin to ear. Shell-shocked, I just sit there for a moment processing what had just happened before I decide to fake an urgent phone call and leave. And that is when you leave to go to the police station and try and get this guy arrested. I feel so bad for her. I just don't understand why you decided to go to the park. You could have just said, no, I want to do this in front of other people so he can't harass you in broad daylight or wherever it was. It's sad to know that there are people out here who do exactly this kind of virgin stuff. The fact that he doesn't even look like his pictures, that's a no-go for me. That could be turned into a perfect killer story. I'm sorry. But the way that you've described it is just as if we were there with you and we're all cringing. It's disgusting. But before we continue with the video, I have a quick announcement to make. Subscribe! Please subscribe if you enjoy watching my videos, and don't forget to hit the bell button so you don't miss a future upload. Obviously, I'm not going to make you subscribe. I will hunt you down. So, get clicking! I see a lot of people watching but not subscribing, and it would be a massive help to this channel if you could. Anyway, thank you, and let's get back into to it. He stole her heart, among other things. Not me, but I worked as a bartender for a while and heard a lot of horror stories secondhand. This one girl who was a regular came in and told me about an awful Tinder date she had. Not sure of the specifics, but it wasn't bad enough for her to not bring him home afterwards. He leaves the next morning, she brushes it off as a one-night stand, and a few days later her debit card gets declined. Odd, since she's a bartender herself at a fairly busy place in our city and is good about saving and usually flush with cash. She goes to check her debit card and turns out there are a bunch of charges at Best Buy, Grubhub and a bunch of other stuff. She checks her credit card too. There she found a bunch of charges for streaming services, Netflix, Hulu, Sling, everything. She goes to confront the guy and finds out he deleted his profile. But she remembers a friend they had in common on Facebook. She reaches out to the mutual friend to try and track him down, and it turns out he did the exact same thing to that mutual friend. Oh my god. Why? You may as well just climb through some rando's window and just rob things that way. What the hell? I really hope she went to the police about that, because she has evidence that she has partial evidence in a way, but still it's bizarre. This is why you hide things if you know you're gonna bring someone back to your place. Just keep her safe. Just keep her safe and keep shit in there. Package deal. It ended up being a double date with his mom and her OkCupid date. He told me that he and his mom were a package deal. I was mortified and there was no second date. You made the right choice. That is very cringe as well, to bring your mum on a date with her date as well. It's just, what can you even talk about with your you know what, I'm not even gonna question it. I don't even want to know what they spoke about. Short story. She smoked some meth, her dog ate my wallet. Okay, fair enough. Very short story indeed. Accidents happen. So I met this girl on Tinder and went for a lunch date. We had a pretty good connection, so we decided to have dinner as well. After having a few drinks, one thing led to another and ended up back at my place. We hooked up and went to sleep. Middle of the night I wake up, she's intensely staring at me while she's crouched behind the bed. I asked her if everything is alright. She said yes and got back into bed. I thought, little creepy, but probably nothing to worry about. She lays down to cuddle me and she's wet. At the time I was like, damn, you must be a stallion. Fast forward to the morning, she's gone and there's a wet puddle behind the bed. She peed on my floor. I don't understand it. I had a bathroom, but maybe she got lost and couldn't hold it. I did not hear from her again. Make sure you get a restraining order on that girl in case you can't find the nearest bathroom and your house seems to be the closest she can find. To be fair, girls can be gross as well. Okay? It's not just men. Girls do some weird shit like this. He had a few suggestions. Talked to her for 2 weeks before we went out and no red flags, so we ended up going out for dinner. I said I hadn't been out for a while because I was trying to save money for a washer and dryer. He told me instead of saving for that, I should save for a boob job. I didn't even know how to reply, so we followed up with, no, it's not a bad thing. My sister and mom both had small breasts and got boob jobs and they look amazing. This is all before the waitress even bought our drinks. I just got up and left. Yep. What possesses one to say that? If you've got a small dick, just say that. You don't need to project it in other ways. Why would you even look at your own siblings and your mother's boobs and say that they look amazing? That's even weirder. Just because it doesn't suit your standards doesn't mean that we need to actually look that way. I really hope that you have recovered from that and you actually ended up buying a washer and dryer, okay, instead of getting a boob job, because I'm pretty sure you look amazing. I don't know what this person looks like, but I'm sure she looks amazing either way. It's still a very odd thing for someone to say in public. Well, not in public, well, in public and in front of a stranger, no less. Well, I'm gonna leave the video there. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please remember to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!